10th plus 2 வில் ஒவ்வொரு ஆண்டும் தொடர்ந்து மாநில அளவில் பல சாதனைகளை புரிந்து வரும் நாமக்கல் குறிஞ்சி கல்வி நிறுவனங்களில் சிபிஎஸ்இ பாடத்திட்டத்தில் சீனியர் செகண்டரி பள்ளியாக தரம் உயர்த்தப்பட்டு ஐஐடி நீட் தேர்வுகளுக்கு பல வெற்றியாளர்களை உருவாக்கிய ஆசிரியர்களை முழு நேர ஆசிரியர்களாக பணியமர்த்தப்பட்டு தினம்தோறும் வகுப்புகள் நடைபெறும்.
குறிஞ்சி எஜுகேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், காவேட்டிப்பட்டி, நாமக்கல். Admission in progress. CBSE KG to 12. Contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12. Contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Dear students, today we are going to deal with the supplementary, that is Unit 5. The title of the story is All Summer in a Day. Okay, it is a science fiction story written by Ray Bradbury. Okay, All Summer in a Day, written by Ray Bradbury. Before going to the story, let me give a short brief biography of Ray Bradbury. Okay, Ray Douglas Bradbury was an American author and screenwriter. He worked in a variety of genres including fantasy, science fiction, horror and fiction. Widely regarded as the most important figure in the development of science fiction as a literary genre, Ray Bradbury's works evoke the themes of racism, censorship, technology, nuclear war, humanistic values and the importance of imagination. Ray Bradbury is well known for his incredibly descriptive style. He employs figurative language, mostly similes, metaphors and personifications throughout the novel, and enriches his stories with symbolism. On April 16, 2007, Bradbury received a special citation from the Pulitzer Prize jury for his distinguished, prolific and deeply influential career as an unmasked author of science fiction and fantasy. Bradbury also wrote and consulted on screenplays and television scripts including Moby Dick and It Came from Outer Space. Many of his works were adapted to comic book, television and film formats. Okay, so these are the important points which had taken place in Ray Bradbury's life, and we came to know that his full name is Ray Douglas Bradbury. Through his short biography, we came to know that he is a science fiction writer. Okay, after discussing about his biography, we will know what is his science fiction. Okay, and you see, if you discuss his life history, we can come to know that he is a great writer of fiction. Okay, and he's also had a opportunity to work in screenplays for movies. And in the end, we came to know that his films are converted, his writings are converted into comic books, televisions and film formats. Especially comic books. Why it were converted into comic books? Because all his stories are fictions. Okay, usually comic books will have a superheroes, okay, like a Spider-Man and Batman and all this. We know all these superficial stories. So he is also interested in writing science fiction. That's why all his stories are converted into comic books. Okay, so this is the short biography of Ray Bradbury. Now let us discuss what is science fiction first of all. Okay, what is the meaning of science fiction? Okay, sci-fi. Sci-fi is a genre of speculative fiction. What is this sci-fi? It is a short form of science fiction. Okay, so science fiction is a genre of speculative fiction, typically dealing with imaginative concepts. What is this imaginative concepts? Mostly the stories are imaginative. Using your imagination, the stories are developed. Okay, speculative means always there is a suspicious is there. Okay, there is a things that may happen. We cannot say 100%. Okay, that is took place. That is called speculative fiction, such as advanced science and technology. So these science fiction deals with advanced science and technology and space flight, time travels and extraterrestrial life. Now let us discuss what is this advanced science. The science which we are living is the reality which we live. This advanced science is it's not existing at present. Okay, it may come after 10 years or 20 years. So those stories will relate with the science fiction will be relating with the advanced science and technologies. You know it. Okay, the new technologies which may come in the future. Then space flight, time travel. You know it. What do you mean by time travel? We have in Tamil movies also. We have two movies, I think. And but in the Western countries, in English movie, Hollywood movies, we have so many movies on time travel. You might have seen the this movie. Um, okay, now extraterrestrial life. What do you mean by extraterrestrial life? Extraterrestrial life means originating from outside of the Earth's or atmosphere or space. Okay, so going out of Earth is called extraterrestrial life. See, terrestrial, in that particular word we have territory. Okay, extra means extra, going out of territory life. That is, going out of the Earth is called extraterrestrial life. So this science fiction deals with the extraterrestrial life, advanced science, technology, space flight, and time travels. Here is a science fiction. Okay, so this is the meaning of science fiction. Now the story which we are going to deal with is also science fiction. That is, all summer in a day. How can all summer can be in a day? See, that is the one line. Okay, story of the line. And here one summer, the summer season may have 3 months or 6 months. Okay, some countries have 6 months, some countries have 3 months. Okay, so this all summer season is in a day. That is the storyline. Okay, one line of the story. Okay, now let us discuss about the story. Here is a science fiction story that explores the theme of life on Venus, the other planet, which as of today is not a possibility. Now it is a fiction story, already I told you, and it is exploring the Venus, the theme of life on Venus. So Venus is a planet. So we have 8 important planets, that is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, these are the very important planets we have. Though we have so many planets. In early told 11, then it was reduced to 9, and at present we have 8 planets. And now in these 8 planets we are going to deal with Venus. Now the story is about life on Venus. Okay, it is already told you, it is a science fiction imaginary story. As a particular family goes to Venus and they stay there. Okay, they leave their children in Venus and they leave. Okay, so that is a main theme of this story. And the other planet, which as today is not a possibility. Now it is not a possibility. The scientists are trying to stay in Mars, not on Venus. Okay, now the scientists are trying to make a life in Mars. They are trying to make a one-way journey to Mars. Okay, now people are trained. They have taken 100 people, and then from there 100 to 10. Okay, they are given training how to live in space, especially Mars. How to convert themselves into the atmosphere. Okay, they are they train them, and they will make to get used to the Mars planet. Okay, we have reached only up to Mars, but here the story is on Venus. That is why they say as today is not a possibility. Today it is not possible to live in Mars, but they are trying to find out the way to live in Mars. So now it is only not that proved, but it may happen in future. But here the story is more advanced to Venus. Okay, they say that a family goes to Venus, and what happens in the Venus planet. Okay, that is what we are going to see here. Let me tell you the short summary of this story. Okay, All Summer in a Day is a science fiction story about the life on the planet Venus. The story centers around a group of school children who are living on the Venus. Okay, in the planet Venus, the sun only comes out for one day every 7 years. It has been raining there for many years. The children had seen the sun 7 years ago. When they were 2 years old, all are eager to see the sun, as the scientists predict that the sun will shine for a short while on that particular day. Margot is a 9 years old student in the planet Venus. Unlike the other children, she has arrived from the earth recently. She remembers many things about the sun. Margot desperately misses the sun. She wants to go back to earth, so she does not get along with the other children. The children bully Margaret as they were envious of her knowledge and memory of sun. They are angered by her descriptions of the sun. They push Margaret into a closet and lock her inside. When the sun comes out, the children are ecstatic. They squint at the sun. They remove their jackets to feel the rays upon their arms. They run among the trees. They slip and fall. They push each other and they play hide and seek and the tag. So I have told you the short summary of this story. So what happens in the climax? Whether Margaret was released from the room, the closet, which they hid. Okay. So the story is all about the summer day. Okay. In 7 years, once in 7 years only, sun comes in Venus. Okay. So the people, those who went from Earth, they live there. Okay. They see the sun only once in 7 years. They can't see every day. So they all wait for that particular one day to have a warm situation. So children, the character Margaret, okay, she's a main protagonist of the story, the heroine of the story. Okay, she also went to Venus, but she remembers all the things which she lived in Earth, where she lived in Earth. Okay, she feels she knows all the details about the sun. Okay, so how the sun looks and what does it gives, everything she knows. But the people, those who live there before her, they forgot everything about sun, the appearance. Okay, everything they forgot, because once in 7 years only the sun comes in Venus. Okay, so what happened? All the children, they envious about Margaret. They put in the closet and they closed when the sun came. So what happened in the end? The climax is we are going to see in the next class. Okay, now let us discuss the story. Let us begin the story. The children pressed each other like many roses, many weeds intermixed peering out. Look, the hidden sun. Now that is the day of the sun to come out on the Venus. Okay, so the children, they were pressing each other, they were pushing each other. How? Like many roses. Okay, like many roses in a bunch of roses. They intermixed each other and they push each other like many weeds on the planets. So it's, in the earth, the weeds are very congested in condition and they grow. Like that, the children were pushing each other and intermixed and peering out whether the hidden sun came out on the Venus. Now what happened? What is the situation? It rained. Okay, so it was raining there. Okay, all the years they have rained there. For 7 years they have rain. Thousands upon the thousands of days, gush of water. Okay, now what happened? They do not have sun every day. So the situation is always chill. They have rain every day. Okay, they do not see sun. So the Venus is thousand upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain, with the drum and gush of water. Okay, only they have water. Gush of water means the force of water with a sweet crystal fall, showers, and the concussion of storms. What is concussion? Concussion means confusion for a short time. Okay, when there was a storm, when the wild wind was there, the rain was heavy over the island. Now this island refers to what? Venus. Okay. Next, the thousand forests had been crushed under the rain. Okay, crushed under the rain, grown up 1,000 times. Okay, grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. The way of life forever on the planet Venus, the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women. And now all the children are eagerly waiting for the sun to come out. Okay, so they were pushing each other and they were looking out from the window to see the sun. So now what is the situation in Venus? It was raining. Okay, it was raining all 7 years. Sun comes only once in 7 years. So thousands and thousands of days they wait. Okay, and what happens now? The water, which rained, it was gushing out of water, and the crystal fall of flowers, showers. Okay, the rain falls like a crystal. Where crystal means clear. The rain was so clear. The raindrops were very clear, and they were falling like a showers. And there was a confusion. The confusion was how? It was like a storms. Okay. What do you mean by tidal waves? Tidal wave means a large ocean waves. Okay. Tidal waves means since there was rain for a long time, the waves were pushing them very fast. Okay. So there were thousands of forests. Okay. This water crushed them again and again for many times because there was no sun to evaporate those water. Okay, sun was not there. So this rain crushed them again and again. So this is the way of life. This is for what? Forever on the planet. This is the thing happening in the Venus. In Earth, what happens? 6 months we have summer, 6 months we have winter. Okay. So, but what happens in Venus? Only rain, no sun at all. So there is a school of room is there for the children. Who are these children? These children came from Earth. Through what they came? They came by rocket. So through rocket they came to Venus with the men and women. What is this men and women refers to? It refers to their parents. Okay, so they came with their parents to Venus and they stayed there and they started a school for those children. So now the children are on Venus. Okay, their father and mother brought them to Venus. Okay, they want to live, they want to explore their life. That's why they came. Okay, so the situation is the raining world. The Venus is a raining world. What do they want to do on the Venus? They want to set up civilization and live out their lives. So they want to make a civilization, civilized people. They want to be a civilized people. So they want to live out their life on Venus. Okay. So the rain stopped. Okay. So it's stopping. Okay. So the rain stopped. So the heroine is introduced now, Margaret. Okay. This Margaret, apart from them. So Margaret stood apart from them, from these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't rain and rain. Okay. They were all 9 years old. Okay, so all the children are 9 years old. Okay, apart from them, this them refers to other children than Margaret. These children remember a time when not raining. Okay, so they never remembered a day without a raining, because all the day it was raining only. Okay, so they did not remember the day which did not have where they did not have rain at all. So they all 9 years old. Okay. 7 years ago, when the sun came out for an hour and showed its face to sunned old. So 7 years ago, a situation where the sun came, they replay. 7 years ago, the sun came out an hour and showed its face. So even though the sun comes in a particular day, it only shows for only 1 hour. Okay, it will not be there more than 1 hour. It showed, when it showed its face, stunned the world. Okay, stunned means shocked the world. Okay, and not recall. So since it happened 7 years ago, the children forgot about the sun. So they could not recall how the sun. Okay, so one situation is explained here. At night, she heard them stir in remembrance, and she knew they were dreaming and remembering gold or yellow crayon or a coin large enough to buy the world with. So now Margaret remembers a day. Okay, what day? At night. One night she heard a noise. Now it is a flashback how they saw sun 7 years ago. So she remembers. She knew they dreaming and remembering about gold. So they were remembering the sun is like a gold or yellow crayons. So crayons means you know it. Okay, yellow pencil like a coloring pencil. So it looks like a yellow crayon or gold. Or that looked like a coin large enough to buy the world. Okay, so they compare this gold, yellow crayon and coin to sun. Okay, they want to recall the appearance of the sun. Okay, now she knew they thought they remembered a warmness like a blushing in the face, in the body, in the arms and legs and trembling hands. Now she remembers. What she remembers? She knew. She knew means who? Margaret. Margaret remembers how they reacted when they saw the sun. Okay, how they reacted? They thought they remembered a warmness. So they remembered, they refers to children. So warmness of the sun, how it was, the warmness of the sun was like a blushing in the face. What do you mean blushing? Blushing means glancing on the face. It was appearing on their face. So their face was bright. In the body. So where was the sun rays were appeared? In the body, in the arms and legs and trembling hands. Why it is a trembling hands? What do you mean by trembling hand? Trembling hands means shaking hands. Since it was raining all the time, the climate is very chill. Since it was very chill, they had a trembling feeling. So their hands were trembling when the sun appeared before them. So it touched their body, arms and legs and their trembling hands. But then they always awoke to the tatting drum, the endless shaking down of clear bead necklace upon the roof, the walk, the gardens, the forests, and their dreams were gone. So now, how do they wake up in the early morning? They always awoke to the tatting drum. So there was a drum always played on the roof. Okay. So on the roof there was a drum sound always heard. Okay, the drum sound was heard. The endless shaking down of the clear beds. Okay, bead necklace upon the roof. So now there was a sound of the necklace beads. Okay, so somebody was walking on the roof. Okay, so it was just imagination. Okay, the walk, the gardens, the forest, and the dreams gone. Okay, so it happening in the dream. So when the sun came, on the day of the sun came, the sun rays touched their body. Okay, arms, legs, and their hands were shaking. Okay, they always awake to the tatting drum. So they always sleep and wake up to the sound of the drum. and the endless shaking down of the clear bead necklace upon the roof. So there was somebody was running here and there with the beads. Okay, so it was heard on the walk, okay, to the gardens. Even those sounds are heard in the gardens and forest and their dreams. Now what happened? The dream is gone. So now since the drum sound was heard, now they woke up from their sleep. Okay, now all day yesterday they had read in the classroom about the sun, about how like a lemon it was and how hot, and they heard written small stories or essays or poems about it. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. Now what happened? Now we know that there was a classroom set up in the Venus. Okay. Now she recalls what she recalls a situation. All day yesterday. Okay. So yesterday what happened? They read in the classroom. What did they read? They read about the sun. Okay. So the sun, they read about sun, and they had a comparison in the reading. What was that? The sun was like a lemon. Okay. So how it was? It was so hot. Okay. So they had written small stories and essays of poems. The children, those who are there in the classroom, they wrote stories about sun, and they wrote essays about sun, and they wrote poems about sun. Okay, who wrote? The children, those who were there in the classroom on the Venus. Now the title of the writing was I think the sun is flower about blooms for just 1 hour. So it was the title. Okay, so the sun blooms like a flower only for what? 1 hour. Already I told you that in Venus the sun comes only once in 7 years. That also it comes only for 1 hour. Okay, so it is just an imagination. It is not real. Okay, so don't think it is a real and scientific fact. Okay, it is not scientific fact that sun comes on Venus just for 1 day. It is not true. It is only a science fiction written by Ray Bradbury. So now the story began. Okay, with the children waiting for the sun to come out on the Venus. So they were waiting for 7 years to see sun, but they never saw. Only now the 7 years is over. Okay, they are eagerly waiting for the sun to see. Okay, and the situation, how was the situation always in the Venus? They have all the day, they have rain. So they were crushed by the rain, and there was a school was set up for children. So how did these children came to Venus? They came to set up a civilization. Their father and mother want to set up a civilized, the advanced technology used country they want to have. So they came with the rocket to the Venus. Okay, so now this protagonist of the story is Margaret. She is a person. She keeps herself alone always. She does not speak to all other children. Okay, now she remembers all the detail. Why she remembers? Because she just came here last year only, where she came from Earth to Venus just last year. Why all the children forgot the details about the sun? Because sun appears only once in 7 years. But Margaret remembers all the details about the sun. Why? Because she came to Venus only last year. So what were their age? 9 years old. So all the children, those who were there in the school, were 9 years old. Okay. Now what she remembers that these people were telling about how the sun appeared. It appeared like a gold, yellow crayons color, and that was looked like a coin large enough to buy the world. And how was the experience when they saw the sun? The experience was warmness like a blushing in the face, in the body, in the arms and legs, okay. Trembling hands. Already I told you why their hands were trembling, because they had a heavy rain all the time. So the situation was so chill. That's why their hands were trembling. So they were always woken up by a tatting drum, okay, beating drum that was beaten on the roof, okay. So there was a sound heard of what? Bead necklaces upon the roof. So the bead necklace sound is heard where? When people walk in the gardens, forest and dream. And now what happened? They were woken up from the dreams because of they heard a drum sound. And now all the people, they were in the classroom. Children had a comparison to the sun. The sun looked like the lemon, and the experience was so hot. And they wrote stories, essays, poems, okay. And they took the title, "The sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour." So sun comes only once in 7 years, and that is also, it stays for just 1 hour, okay. So I hope you have understood. We will see it in detail in the next class.